Welcome, welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today's video, like the title says, is how to find Big Bennyhenge. So we are going to start at Yela. It's a moon around Crusader. Pretty simple to get to. And actually our very first starting point should be Grim Hex. So I want you to get to Grim Hex. We're going to turn around and quantum to it. It's located in the asteroid field or asteroid belt around Yela. So Yela does have this ring of asteroids, which you can mine in. You can find this particular Easter egg in. And I really love that the developers put this Easter egg in. I like that they put these little bitty Easter eggs, into the game. It's really cool when you come across one. It's just pretty neat, and I think they could tie storylines into it as well to make them even neater. This one is easier to find than, say, like the Javelin on Daymar. That one requires a little time and effort to find. This one you could probably find in 10 to 15 minutes. I usually find it in around 10 to 12 minutes. So you guys shouldn't have any problem finding this one, especially after this video, because I'm going to show you how to do it. So when you get to Grim Hex, I want you to turn left and head into the asteroid field. I'm in a C8X Pisces, so I'm gonna fly at faster speeds. Just make sure you keep Yela on your left and you should be fine. So I'm gonna go at full speed here, and I'm also gonna speed this video up so you guys don't have to see this, because you have to fly a good ways over here. It's not super long. You just want to be around 254 kilometers away from Grim Hex. So you do have to fly a little ways out into the asteroid field. And when you do find an asteroid that is tethered together, kind of like what Grim Hex has, you may see it, you may not, depending on where you are. But you could see this little asteroid that's tethered together, and you can see the coordinates I have posted up on the screen. That's what you're looking for. But these two asteroids, when they're tethered together and you see that, you're about halfway there. So you still have a ways to go once you see that. And like I said, you may or may not see it. I think it was off to my right there. But we got to continue on because we're nowhere near where we need to be yet. So let's speed up the video a little bit again. I don't recommend you necessarily fly through asteroid fields at full speed. The Pisces is a very maneuverable little craft. Even at full speed, it's got the capability to maneuver past a lot of these asteroids. If you're in a bigger ship, this would probably end in your ship blowing up. So just be mindful what ship you're in and how fast you fly through the asteroid field. You'll get there eventually. It just may take you a little longer if you're in a bigger ship. So as we slow down, you see I'm still 230.6. I still have 24 kilometers to go away from Grim Hex. And I haven't even looked at Yela yet, so I'll have to make that adjustment whenever I get a little bit further away. I realize that you can be on multiple points where you're 254.6 from Grim Hex and 641.2 from Yela. But just using those 2 points, you should have very little difficulty finding the correct asteroid that you're looking for Big Bennyhenge. Big Bennyhenge. So why do I call it Big Bennyhenge? A lot of people just call it Bennyhenge. The name of the company is Big Benny's. I think it might have something to do with Ben Lesnick, one of the guys who were responsible for this game even being made. He used to play a lot more active role in development, in front of the camera, etc. Sadly, we haven't seen or heard much from Ben in a while. I don't know if his role is much more diminished or if he doesn't have a role at all anymore with the company. That would be sad to me, but because I liked Ben Lesnick, and I think a lot of people out there really loved having Ben on the screen and everything else for all the community shows and everything. So shout out to Ben Lesnick. If you ever watch this video, man, I'm thinking about you, and I hope you're doing well. And so Big Benny's was, I believe, named after Ben Lesnick, and it's a noodle company, and they make these noodle vending machines. So when they first put Big Bennies into the game, it became a real popular thing, and people were actually able to move some of these vending machines around. Like Kovalek Station, you could actually move one of the vending machines there, and people were putting them in their ships and delivering them to Port Olisar. It was a lot of fun and a pretty neat experience. So whenever we discovered that there was a Big Bennyhenge, that was even more exciting. Now, let me give you a little warning here. I'm on the dark side of this moon, so these asteroids are very hard to see. So you need to be careful when you're flying on the dark side of the planet, because you might have some asteroids that sneak up on you. As you can see, I'm doing some more micro adjustments. So yeah, Big Bennyhenge, when it came into the game, it was really exciting. You know, I loved actually going there and finding it. It was really cool. Back then, we didn't have a Grim Hex to really use as a waypoint, so to speak. You kind of had to eyeball it, which was pretty interesting and a lot of fun, actually. You couldn't do that now because space is just so much bigger. The asteroid field's bigger. It'd just be a lot harder to find. So I call it Big Bennyhenge. Other people call it Bennyhenge. I like to stick to the whole name. I think it just sounds better to me. Bennyhenge, it's just a shorter version, but I think you want to give full credit to the company and call it Big Bennyhenge. I'm sure maybe inside the developers, they probably had a different name, and players were the ones who ended up with the final name of Bennyhenge. But I will still always call it Big Bennyhenge. So that's just me. You guys call it whatever you want. Leave a comment down below. Maybe we can get a discussion going on which one you favor, Bennyhenge or Big Bennyhenge. So I am still making these little micro adjustments, and you can see I've discovered the asteroid in front of me. It's really dark, but the little landing pad, if you want to call it that, or metal pad where Big Bennyhenge is, does light up. They have lights there. It's kind of dim, but you can still see it. The asteroid was super dark, so I end up turning on my lights to see everything, and I'm just giving you one last look at how close I am to Yela and Grim Hex before we move in closer. And there we go. I've got my lights on, so I'm illuminating the asteroid a little more. You can see how dark it is. And like I said, there are lights at Bennyhenge, so you'll still be able to see it, but you got to get relatively close to this asteroid before you do. And you may be on the opposite side of the asteroid, so you may have to fly around the asteroid and look around a little bit to find it. I know I've had to do that a couple of times when I've come here. I wish they would put a waypoint system in to where you can actually pick a waypoint and save it into your star map, like permanently. Maybe that's something that'll come with persistence. I don't know. It needs to be in the game. You also need to be able to blindly pick a waypoint on the star map and quantum to it. Those are very important for this game, I believe, for people to get the most enjoyment out of exploration and the sites that they have found, or even mining deposits. I mean, you know, what if you don't get to finish mining a mining deposit? You want to put a waypoint down, you remember it. So stuff like this little Easter egg here, you want to put a waypoint on. The javelin, you want to put a waypoint on. But right now, you don't have that option. You've got to fly to them. I was going to count all these boxes and tell you how many were here. And I was like, well, maybe not. There's a lot. This guy who was working on it and had one crush him, he's been doing this a while. And he had to have had more advanced technology than we do, because there's no way he wants to use those coordinates to find this place every single time. He had to have a waypoint. So put waypoints in the game, CIG. Let us designate where we want to go. But yeah, if you guys want to count these boxes yourself and let me know in the comments how many there are, that'd be interesting. I know there's a lot. So yeah, good luck on counting them. But yeah, this is Big Bennyhenge. It looks a lot like Stonehenge in England. That's why they call it that. Very cool idea, whoever came up with it. Really neat. Let me give you another aerial view, and then I'm going to turn off my ship lights so you guys can see this in the dark. So it's all lit up with the lights there. It's got a power generator. It's got a gravity generator there. So it's got power running to it. It's really cool. I like the way it looks in the dark too. But guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to let you know whenever I do another one of these videos. I hope you like this video. Leave me a comment, tell me what you think. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.